Welcome to Mempadada, a space created to help you be a better you.
Hello and welcome to Mempadada. This video is about the art of learning language. I'm not going to teach you a new language, but I'm hoping that I will inspire you to go ahead and learn a new language because there are plenty of benefits. Some of them are quite obvious and some others are less obvious. The reason why they are related to Mempadada is because they are related to the brain and they have a huge impact. Language learning has a huge impact on our brain development. Learning language has always fascinated me. Knowing a language opens a door to a whole new world. It opens the opportunity, it brings the opportunity to connect with people with whom you couldn't have connected otherwise. A common language helps you converse with people, exchange ideas. And it also provides the opportunity to learn more because you now have access to the literature of the other language. It is extremely powerful, and from what I have understood, language learning is one of the most challenging learning and most powerful learning that you can give the brain a chance to do. So all these were more softer aspects of language learning. You probably knew already that if you knew French, then you can go and make friends in France when you go for a holiday and talk to people. Yeah, that's pretty much a no-brainer. But there are a lot of cognitive advantages of learning a language as well. And that's what I wanted to talk about in this video. So people who know and speak more than one language, at the very least, people who are bilingual and multilinguals, are said to have a better memory. They are said to have better concentration and listening skills. They are also meant to be good at problem solving. This is all because of how the brain works and how it operates. The brain does not merely just store the information that you give it in a place. It tries in its own way to make sense of it. So when you're trying to learn a language, although you think that you're looking at a new word, the brain tries to comprehend it by relating it to what you already know, connecting it with your first language, and organizing it in a way that when you want to recall it, it'll come. So it needs to translate, if you like, into a way in which you understand, and then it has to organize it, put it in a part of the brain where you get it stored, and it allows you to recall that when you're having a conversation or when you're reading in the second language or your third language. So the brain is doing a lot behind the eyes to help us understand the new language. So when we switch between languages, the networks in our heads, in our brains, fire up and we retrieve the information that was stored by the brain. So things like the vocabulary, the grammar, the rule sets, the idioms, the examples in the language, and things that are very native to the language. All these are being recalled by our brain. And remember that the brain is like a muscle. So the more you exercise it, you're building it, just like how you would do with your muscle anywhere else. So such exercises help you build this muscle, the brain, and enhance its capability. So learning a language is not just about making you proficient in that language, but it also allows you to sharpen your brain. And most multilingual children are also seen to be quite good at other subjects also, not just in language. So the ability to switch between languages sharpens the brain, and that is quite invaluable. So it is able to focus better and it is able to decipher better. So although you are hearing in one particular language, like I said, behind the scene there's so much going on. So the brain is really working, and that's what it quite likes to do as well. So when people are more tuned to having to, I need to make sense of this and that, their problem solving skills for this reason is enhanced. So that is one of the reasons, explanations why multilinguals are said to be better at problem solving. Another important and interesting advantage is that when thinking in our mother tongue, and this I found it quite interesting when I learned about this and realized it, when you speak in your mother tongue, there is a lot of emotion attached to it. So it is quite possible that we get overwhelmed by emotions, or the emotions could take over at times. But when you think in your second language, or when you're trying to talk in your second language, it is very possible that you're more rational because of the emotions being low, emotions attached to the language being low. So it gives you the opportunity to make better decisions. So decision making skills in the second language is said to be more rational and clear. You're supposed to think with a clear head if you do so. It has also been found, and this is yet another interesting finding, it's also been found that diseases, degenerative diseases like the Alzheimer's and dementia, the onset of them are delayed by a good few years among multilinguals or bilinguals. And although the exact reason why this happens is not found yet, the root cause of Alzheimer's and now dementia are still being researched, but several studies have shown consistently that the onset is delayed among multilinguals. So there are studies also that show that multilinguals are more aware of the surrounding. Like I said, there are more neural pathways that have been fired up, and I think that does contribute to them being more alert. So they are able to filter information and identify deception or irrelevant information much better. And this is said to be why some of the popular forensic investigators are multilingual, for instance. So if all these cognitive benefits are not enough to push you to learn a new language, then think about the opportunity that it gives you to go to the source and learn. Whether you want to learn the ancient scriptures or you want to learn the literary work in a particular language in its original form, by learning the language, it gives you the opportunity to understand that firsthand rather than having to rely on someone else's interpretation. I will be picking some languages, and I would like to pick a language that is easier for me to practice so that I have friends around who I can practice with and make my mistakes and learn from that. And I hope this inspires you to pick a language as well. And happy learning!